Hey guys, Brixenta here bringing you another vlog. This is makeup tutorial on an eye look using the Graveyard Girl palette and the Pastel Goth palette. So why am I wearing cat ears today? What does that have to do with anything? I don't know. I just thought they were cute and they keep my hair out of my face. So enjoy this tutorial. Okay, I'm going to create a look using the Graveyard Girl palette. Right here, the Swamp Queen palette, and using the Pastel Goth palette. If you don't have either one of these, you can always pick shades that are similar, or you can do totally different shades and use some of these techniques. You don't have to use these palettes. I love them. I use this one almost every day. This one I turn to a lot as well. It has a lot of neutral colors. I will give you a close-up look of both of them. Alright, so there's the Graveyard Girl palette. You can see it has a contour, a blush, and a highlight. By the way, ignore my nails, I know I need to redo them. And then it has 9 shades. And so let me give you a look into the Pastel Goth palette and see what's in there. So we have this yellow shade, orange, pink, purple, blue, green, gray, white. And the yellow and the blue I use all of the time, and that's what we're using in today's look. Alright, so the first thing you want to do is you want to go into whatever palette you're using. I'm going to go into the Graveyard Girl palette and take a nice neutral color and get some of that on your fluffy side of your brush. And you're just going to sweep it all over the eyelid. And let me zoom you in so you can actually see what I'm doing better. Okay, I zoomed you in quite a bit, so if after you watch this video you're like, Brixenta, that was a little too close, let me know in the comments below and I won't come as close next time. So, what I'm going to do is go back into this natural peaches color, this natural peaches color right here, get it on the fluffy side of my brush, and then sweep it all over this other eyelid. And I go underneath a little bit too. You don't really have to, but I like to, so it blends out my colors a little bit better. And then I have hooded eyes, so when I go into my crease, I make sure I put the brush so my eyeball is here and my crease is actually right here. Right here is where my crease is, but I make sure to go just slightly over where that crease is to kind of where the bony part of my eye is. Just because I have hooded eyes, I go up just a little higher than my crease so that it gives an illusion of the eye. So it gives a little bit of an illusion of your eye being a little bit bigger, and you can actually see the eyeshadow instead of it all just disappearing into the line when you have your eyes open. So you can't see my eyelids at all when I have my eyes open. So, then you want to go in with a darker shade. I'm actually going to go in with the blush. I'm actually going to go in with the blush called Does This Thing Really Work? Because I love putting pink. Any pink will do. I love putting that in my crease. Oops, sorry about that. And then I like to wipe off the excess onto my hand, paper towel. I usually do it on my hand, but you can do it on paper towel, you can do it on a color switch, whatever you want to do. And then just blend it in. And then once I've blended it across a little bit, I'll blend it down, not up. Oh, I blended it a little too far over, but we can correct that. But I'll blend it down so that it doesn't go up into where I want the lighter area to be. And then I'll take the outer edge and I'll blend that out as well. I usually do a lighter and a darker crease color. This is a little more intense than I usually do, but we're going to go with it anyway. So I want the concentration of the product right in the outer corner right here, and then whatever's left over, I'll go on the outside here, and then even smaller amount of product here. And it's all just whatever's on the brush. I just use the excess from what I don't use here. And this is a really rich color because it's a blush, so I had a little more than I usually do. And then I'm going to do the same thing with the other eye. Okay, so this eye is usually about how I usually do it. This eye had a little much, so I kind of just wiped the excess off. Usually I can wipe lightly and get the excess off if I go a little crazy with the extra product going outside. Usually I can get the excess off if I wipe gently. If I go a little outside with the leftover product underneath my eye, it's usually not too big a deal. But if you go really crazy with the leftover product under your eye, you can go back into that neutral color. In my case it would be, that natural peaches color, and you can take it and you can just kind of go lightly. So if you go outside of that natural line, usually wiping it away lightly will work. If it doesn't, then you can go in with that neutral color. In my case it's that natural peaches. I might actually even want a lighter color, but I think I'm just going to go with this for now, with a clean brush, and then you just swipe that underneath gently to kind of neutralize your mistake, and it usually works pretty well. And you can do the same thing with the other side if you'd like. Whoops! I almost dropped the palette. And then you can just go and do the same thing with the other side with that natural peaches color. And I only have one light on one side, so it looks like my eyes look different, but in person they actually look the same. And yeah, it'll probably look a little scary at the beginning, but trust me, it looks beautiful at the end. Not scary, not grungy, nothing like that. So just stay here with me and we'll be okay, I promise. Is it weird that you can only see my eyes when I'm talking? I'm sorry. Okay, so then what I do is I go in with a darker color into the crease, but I take the pointy end of the brush so I can concentrate it directly in to the middle of what I just put on. So I'm actually going to go into this color Dogman right here, because it's a little bit darker than this blush color over here. So I'm going to take the pointy end of my brush. You can take, really you could take a small packing brush. This one's pretty, you could take a small packed brush if you wanted to. Really anything that you can get into the middle of the crease, or anything you can get into the middle of the eyeshadow that you just applied will work. And what I like to do is I like to just put it on one side so that I don't get too much product on it. And then I'll go directly into the middle. And then I flip the brush over, or you can go back to your fluffy brush, and I just blend down and out to the outer corner. So down and out. Because the darkest part of the eye I want to be the outer corner to really draw that attention away from the hood. And if I just blend everything straight over, then it ends up going way outside of where you actually want it to go. So I blend everything down and out. That way it kind of disperses and you're not getting this big clump of color right in the corner. And I'm just going to do the same thing on the other side. Okay, so anytime you go into a new color, you want to make sure you have a clean brush. So you can either switch brushes, you can clean on a paper towel, whatever you need to do to clean it. They have a little tub that's a color switch. I'm guessing that would be good for makeup artists, but me, I just take the palm of my hand and I just swirl the brush around until all the product comes off. Once in a while I miss some, but that's okay. You can always correct your mistakes. Be like Bob Ross, it's a happy accident. Go with it or fix it. You know, no big deal, it's just makeup. Okay, so now I'm going to go into the Pastel Goth palette, and I'm going to go into this blue color right here that is called Doom. I don't know why it's called Doom, because it's such a beautiful color. It doesn't say Doom to me. This one does, kind of. which I use gloom kind of a lot too, but doom. So I'm going to take that in the outer corner. I'm going to go about 1/3 of the way, so about where your iris is. I'm going to take that blue color right in that outer corner. So I'm going to take the fluffy side of the brush, and I'm going to go into doom, and then I'm just going to place that right directly in the outer corner, and I'm going to go up and down first so that most of the product is in that inner corner, and then I'm going to blend it in just a little bit. And then once I've blended it inward, I'm going to go outward just a tiny bit so that it all looks cohesive. And then I just blend whatever I haven't blended in yet. And that's not enough payoff, color payoff for me, so I'm actually going to go into that doom color again and do the same thing. So I'm going to take it in that corner, and I'm going to blend it in. And I'm only going to go up to the middle of that pink color, so right about where you put that darker color, that's as far up as I'm going to go, because otherwise you look like you have this big circle on the outside of your eye and it just looks weird. So okay, so blend inward. See, I only went to about where the iris, the color of my eye is. Look straight at the camera, maybe you can tell. And then I'm going to blend it outward just a little bit because I like it to come to a point, and I like the outer color to blend in with the color that I place on the corner of my eye. So you can tell it all blended nicely together. And now I'm going to do the same thing on the other eye. Something I noticed that I do when I first go into the outer corner of my eye is I take the product on my brush and I dab it in. So I press it in and then I blend it before I do anything else. Because if I don't press it in, then it just kind of goes everywhere and powder flies everywhere. Pressing it in helps from fallout being all over your face and all over everywhere that you don't want it. So now, again, with a clean brush, I'm going to take this yellow color star right here, and I'm going to put it in the middle, and I'm going to blend it over to just beyond. I'm going to blend it over to just beyond where my iris is, so that it blends in with the blue, and blue and yellow make green, so you'll have a yellow and then a green and then a blue. No one really notices the pink, it just kind of works to blend everything together and make it a nice transition. But yeah, you're gonna have a nice yellow, green, and blue, and it's gonna look kind of rainbowy but really blended out and a little smoky. So I'm gonna take the fluffy end of my brush, go into the star, and then I'm gonna place it on the center of my eye. And again, I'm gonna press it in directly into the center until I think I've packed that product on, and then I'm going to blend it out to the outer corner and then blend it towards the blend it towards the inner corner and then blend it towards the outer corner. It really doesn't matter which corner you go towards first. And then I like to take yet another layer of that same color. You could also probably use setting spray and not have to use quite as much eyeshadow product. I forgot to tell you, before I started, I did all of my other makeup and I primed my eyes with Too Faced Shadow Insurance eye primer. You can use whatever primer works for you. I love the Shadow Insurance. My second favorite is Urban Decay's eye primer potion. I don't remember what it's called, but it works great as well. But you just want something so that A, your shadows blend nicely together, B, they don't crease and they don't get all, when you open your eyes and close your eyes, they don't get all those creases in the product. and it's going to make it wear a lot longer. Oops. Okay, now back to your scheduled programming. Okay, I'm gonna go over that yellow just one more time, and this time I'm gonna pack it in the center, and I'm not gonna blend the edges out so much. I'm just gonna pat it in all over so that it looks nice and blended, but there's a concentration of product on the edge. So see, you got that nice yellow, green, and then blue on the outer corner. I don't know if you can really tell in the camera though. It just kind of looks green straight across, but it isn't. Maybe if I move the light away more or up, it still just kind of looks green. Maybe we'll be able to tell better on the other side. So we're gonna do the other eye the same way. Alright, so there's the other eye. You can tell a little bit better that there's blue on the corner. It looks a little bit rainbowy. I love this look, especially after I get my eyeliner and everything on. So then I don't do much of anything to my eyebrows besides make sure I don't have a unibrow or anything like that. So I don't have like an arch or anything, but where the arch would be, I take a really light color. Sometimes it's white, sometimes it's off-white, sometimes I use the Alchemist palette highlighter. I usually don't like to use shimmery on the brow bone, but you can use whatever color you want. I'm gonna go back to the Graveyard Girl palette and use Big Baby, and I'm gonna take the pointy end of that brush again, and I'm gonna pat it on one side, and I'm just gonna go right under where that curve is and blend it outwards, and then I'm gonna do it again, and it doesn't look like you can tell what I just did, so you can see what I just did. I'm gonna go into this white called Skull in the Pastel Goth palette and do it again so that you can actually see. So you see that just lightens that area up just a little bit, so it just makes your eye look a little bit bigger. Unless you want small eyes, then don't put any there, it's fine. All these are just suggestions of things that I like to do, so you can do whatever you want. It's makeup. Play with it. Be an artist. Or at least pretend you are. It washes off at the end of the day. It's nothing permanent. No big deal. But the key is having fun, because otherwise what's the point of doing it, really? At least that's my opinion. Alright, so with a smaller, more compact brush, you're going to take a dark color and put it under the outer corner of your eye. Normally, I like to put Kat Von D's Metal Crush and Paranoid under there, but I'm just going to stick to these two palettes right now, and I'm going to take the Graveyard Girl palette again, and I'm going to go into Man Cat, this dark purple color. Because I have hooded eyes, I love the matte colors. I don't like to do a lot of shimmeries. If I do shimmery color, I'll put it right here in the middle. So if you want to do this look and you're like, I love glitter, I love shimmer, where's it at? You can always take any highlighter or gold color and just dab it right into the center. Oops, dab it right into the center, and then it'll be a nice yellowy, whatever color you put on top, and it'll give you that nice sparkle and shimmer for the same look. So I'm going to take Man Cat, and I'm going to go into it. Again, I'm only going to go on one side of the brush so that I have more control over the product. And I'm going to take the side of the brush that I put product on and place that closer to my eye so that I can get right along the waterline. And I'm going to stop right about where that iris is again. And then I'm going to flip the brush over and I'm going to go out. And then I get a little more product on one side of the brush again. And I take and I go where I'm going to put my wing. That gives it a nice foundation. Somehow I have a lot of fallout this time. That normally doesn't happen. When it does happen, I usually just wipe it away. And like I said, you can always take that neutral color that you used and blend over it. Not do that. How about that? Alright, let's try this again. Okay, so you can see I went in the outer corner. Again, that's going to open that eye up. And I took along where my wing is going to be so it sets the foundation. I know exactly where I'm going to go. So when I go to do my wing, it's a lot faster because I'm not trying to guess at where I'm going to put it. I already know. And then you're just going to do the same thing with the other side. So when I put my eyeshadow on, I went a little crazy today, but normally I only go to about where that crease color is, and then I extend my wing out as far as I want, because it ends up getting a little thick if you go out too far with the eyeshadow, but you know, play with it. It's whatever you like to do. What I like to do is I like to take a nice metallic, usually, color and put it right in the center underneath my eye where I put that dark color, because what happens when you do that is it draws the attention to the center of the eye, right to where the eye color is, and I don't know, I just really like that look. So I'm gonna take this color, it's not actually metallic, it's a highlighter, the color Gator Wings. It's a highlight, and I'm going to do that in the center. Going to use that same brush. Again, put it on one side of the brush and not the other. Put the side of the brush that has the product down and just blend it out. I make weird faces when I put eyeshadow on. How about you? And then I'm going to do the same thing to the other side. Alright, so the last thing I do is I put a nice shiny color of some sort on the inner corner of my eye. I'm going to go ahead and go in with the Alchemist palette, but you can go in with whatever you want to use. I think I'm going to go in with Sapphire. I like to take the pointy side of the brush, and I just, again, go on one side. No product on the other side, just the one side, and I just dab it in the corner. And then I do the same thing with the other side. Alright, so there's the finished look on that, and I'm going to put my eyeliner and mascara on, and I'll be right back. Alright guys, so I just got mascara on my nose. The trick to getting that off is, if you're patient enough, I'm usually not, wait for it to dry and then just scratch it off and it'll flake right off. Alright, so here's a very, very close-up of what the finished look looks like. I got a little carried away with the eyeliner, but overall, it looks like I normally do it. And let me zoom you out so you can really see. Alright, so overall you can tell that this doesn't look as crazy as it did close up. Alright guys, so there was a tutorial on the Graveyard Girl palette and the Kat Von D Pastel Goth palette, which I love this look, I use it all the time. So leave a comment below and tell me your favorite part about this look, and let me know if you're going to do this look yourself. I would love to see pictures, so connect with me on other social media if you do and send them to me. And I'm gonna call that a wrap. I love you guys so much, and as always, dream big.